say that's unbelievable to be able to pull that truck. And the guys from I was just going to say Overdrive. Gavin and Chiro are here, and they were like completely blown away. Have you ever done anything crazy like that?
I pushed a lot of cars, never pulled them.
Yeah.
I heard you pulled your Yaris
On a
once.
downhill.
It sounds dangerous.
It is dangerous. But I must admit, I've also pushed a lot of cars, so I don't know if I'd be able to push a truck.
Do you think you could push that truck, or is pulling give you some sort of advantage?
I think you get the momentum from there.
I think pushing would be easier. But talking about cars, guys, there's some new nice cars that you test drove this week. I think you have the best job in the world.
You know, a lot of people say that, but they only remember when you drive Maseratis, and they don't remember when you drive the small cars.
Exactly.
So I remember the small cars.
Sure.
Alrighty, so last week we did speak about the VW Tiguan, which is a Volkswagen. This week we're speaking about the Jetta, which is a Volkswagen. But they did give us 2 Jettas to test. We do have a lot to say about them, so we thought we'd have to tell us essay about them. They're very popular here.
Yeah, and I mean, my first encounter with the Jetta was before it was launched. I met the most boring man in the world at a function, and he came up to me and he knew I did car journalism, and he said they gave us a car to take a photograph of, but they said we can't take photographs of it. But I took a photograph, and then he showed me a picture of it on his phone, and it was a picture of the Jetta from a very uninspiring angle. So I wasn't predisposed to love the car. It was just a very boring encounter. But now that I've got to drive one, I must say
But it had nothing to do with the Jetta. It was just your experience.
It was just my experience with this man, yeah. And now that I've got to drive one, it is the best car in the world for people who don't care about cars at all, honestly. For people who see cars as shapes that you climb into and it takes you somewhere else, then you climb out of the shape, the Jetta is the car for you, really.
What about fuel consumption? What about speed? What about luxury? All the things we do ask when we need to get a car.
It's all excellent, except it is exactly like an appliance.
But the thing is a good appliance, the best kind of appliance. I might be the only car journalist in South Africa to have done 2,000 Ks in a Jetta on purpose. I did what I like to call a student economy run. It's very simple. You just don't buy any petrol. So on the on the smallish 55-litre tank, managed 1,100 Ks. So the onboard computer actually said 5 to the 100, which is 20 Ks a litre.
That is remarkable.
Is this a diesel? No, it was a petrol.
Yeah, this is a diesel, the 1.6 TDI, and I actually had to go fetch my brother from university, and all
Pretoria?
his Grahamstown, and all his worldly possessions managed to get inside the Jetta.
Most students' worldly possessions could fit in the Jetta.
You won't believe how much stuff we got in there.
And I did the exact opposite. I had the 2-litre TDI, and I had a clean run from Camps Bay to Hut Bay. You'll know the road for people who live in Cape Town. And I got a clean run through there.
It's 30 Ks.
So I gave it.
Here, I know.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
15 Ks there and 15 Ks back.
It is indeed. Yeah. And I got to experience the new side of the Jetta. It was just a really, really good car when you give it the beans a bit. I related to that in The Simpsons, where that one episode where Ned Flanders takes his top off, and you realise he's really muscular and ripped. That's how it felt like with the Jetta. It's a properly good car. It really is quick and it handles beautifully.
I don't think Volkswagen put that in their marketing material. The Jetta is Ned Flanders.
Absolutely. But it's nice to know the power is there. I don't think anyone who buys the Jetta will necessarily
How was it going around all those turns and twists?
It really astonished me. It was a fantastically sorted car. Brilliantly.
Doesn't look it.
No.
But the main difference between the 2 Jettas we had was the interior. It was hilarious. Mine had the superb leather interior, great bucket seats, excellent stitch detailing on the leather, and Gav's one looked like the interior of a teacher's staff room, sort of circa 1984.
Yeah, it was just beige cloth. But honestly, it looked like the bar furniture at a budget hotel. It was terrible. Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to buy the car, go for the leather if it's within your budget.
Yeah, and your budget will have to be 222,000 for the entry level Jetta, all the way up to I think 297,000
for the example I drove, which is 300,000 rand's a lot to pay for a Jetta.
Yeah.
But I mean, great car.
A lot of car for your money. Yeah, it really is. So the next car we've got for you this morning, Liesl, is the Toyota Aygo.
Yes.
I wanted to ask about the Aygo. I did take it for a test drive.
Now, immediately I have a bit of a problem with this car because it
has no space in the boot.
Yeah.
For my wardrobe.
No, exactly. It's smaller than your Yaris. And I mean,
but it's light on fuel.
It is incredibly light.
And it looks like I've escaped from a circus when I drive it. So it really is tiny.
But it's not a car for you.
No.
Because you've got to cut the roof off.
Yeah.
I like small cars, so I was really impressed when it came out.
But you two are about the same height.
We're about the same height. Yeah, exactly.
I pushed the seat right back. I have to sit on the back.
I'm glad you said a height there. Yeah.
Yes.
The thing is, smaller cars are a bit suited to people like me, but I actually can't stand them.
Yeah,
I really can't.
You see, I'm a small car fanatic.
Yeah.
I like to go in and out of little places and get in.
Sure. Now, he has to be completely impressed by a small car to love it. And
Tell me you love this car.
You know what? The thing for me is I find the whole thing a bit cynical, because what happened was Peugeot, Citroën, Toyota, they all ganged up on the small market. They've developed this car together. They make it in one factory in the Czech Republic, so they're all exactly the same. And the only difference, as far as we can tell, is the names of the car. They're hilarious.
These are great, yeah.
From Citroën, you can get the C1 Seduction or Attraction.
Yeah.
Peugeot, you get the 107 Trendy or Urban. And from Toyota, you get the iGo Fresh or the iGo Wild.
How would you go, Jim?
I'd go Wild.
You go Wild.
I go fresh.
And they actually made one called the iGo Crazy. I'm not even making this up. It was a rear-wheel drive version. They made it as a concept
car version.
A racing car version, yeah, unbelievable. But you know,
to live with a car like this,
again, as you say, this car isn't for me. But and for my practical reasons, I wouldn't buy one. It doesn't even have a rev counter, and it's a 1-litre 3-cylinder engine. So all it does is rev. So you have to kind of guess when you're going to change gears.
But it's light on fuel.
It's super light on fuel. I mean, as I say, it's a 1-litre 3-cylinder. So if it isn't,
this is for city driving in and out.
Yeah. And it's being so small, it's so much. It just feels like you should be doing something else in it besides driving. And I know we were meant to have Sasha on the show today, and he played that football with the Top Gear guys.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
But he didn't play in the iGo.
No, they originally on the Top Gear show they used the iGo. He used the Chevy Spark.
Yeah.
So I wish we had the opportunity to play a bit of.
Well, you never know. Your wish could come true.
I hope so.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us and educating us on cars. Remember, if you have any car-related questions, why not ask it on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, and we'll test the guys' knowledge next week when they come in to chat about cars again. Sports? You play?
Yes, I love sport. I play football, but I love all sport, Formula 1, rugby, cricket.
Well, we're going to talk about touch rugby next.
Oh, brilliant.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.